I would like to ask for 1 minute of silence. Tú también, remembering our martyrs and all that have died fighting for freedom. Thank you. I would like just to take a special moment to recognize General Enedo Oliva's daughter, who's here, is visiting us for the first time somewhere. She has not arrived yet, but she's going to be here. There she is. Okay, stand up. General Oliva was the second in command of the brigade, and he was in charge of Playa Larga. You're so welcome. I think yesterday we had, and maybe we have her here today again, Manuel Artime's widow and his daughters, if they're here. If not, they were here. I mean, it is a treasure for us that they come here and visit us. So, you all are really welcome here, and I'm really thankful for your interest in the brigade. Before Carlos Luis takes over with today's agenda, I have something to address. Today is my last day as president of the Veterans Association. And today, I speak for the brigade. And I have a message from the heart. I have a message from the brigade. I have never been politically correct, and I'm not going to start now. 65 years ago, we entered a fight where freedom was at stake. A fierce fight against a Soviet-backed opponent. We were left behind. That was the first round of what would be a lifelong fight. We ended the first round heavily bruised. 1 year later, at the missile crisis, second round, we ended with our hands tied. And yet, we fought on every front, all over the world. And we saw our enemy grow in power and threaten and hurt our adopted country, the United States of America, as the tyranny enslaved our island. We have witnessed Cuba and its governing clique become an avowed enemy of the United States. And we have witnessed every government except President Trump's look the other way. And round after round, hands tied, we fought on. Today is the 15th and final round, and the enemy is against the ropes. The fight is on, and today we remember President Trump's promise 1 year ago to liberate Cuba, and he did make that promise. Today, we take pride in his leadership, and we embrace the wisdom, courage, and commitment of our brother, Secretary Mario Rubio, and our representative, brother Jimenez Salazar and Mario. The inept, cruel, and corrupt clique holding power in Cuba is not going to leave voluntarily. They're playing the waiting game. It is naive to play along with while Cuban people suffer. I ask President Trump, Secretary Rubio, and each and every one of you, and all our elected officials to join together and take action today to terminate the ruling clique by whatever means necessary. And allow for the implementation by Cubans of the step outlined in the Helms-Burton Act towards a free, democratic, and sovereign Cuba that will be an ally of the United States and a friend forever. We pledged 65 years ago never to abandon Cuba, and here we are today, ready to win the final round. And all of 200 of us that are left alive, still willing to die for our freedom and still willing to be in the front row if we have to. Thank you. The brigade is honored by your presence.
Thank you, Rafael. If you don't think these guys have a fire in them still, you better think again. Okay? Thank you so much, Rafael. I would like to go ahead and have Julie Mena, our director, museum director, come up and say some words before we start. Thank you.
Good afternoon and welcome. Today we open more than a museum. We open a home of memories and purpose. We honor the men of Brigade 2506, whose courage and sacrifice stand as a lighthouse, guiding us and reminding us what it means to fight for freedom. Their legacy is now our responsibility. We preserve their story, educate future generations, and uphold the democratic values they fought for. Thank you for being here and for helping us carry this light forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Carlos Luis, and I'm the son of Brigade veteran Rene Luis, number 3089. It is my profound honor to serve as the president of the Bay of Pigs Museum and Library. First and foremost, I want to give thanks to God for giving me the strength and perseverance to help bring this museum to life. I feel deeply blessed to stand before you today, leading an institution that carries the legacy of courage, sacrifice, and unbreakable commitment to freedom. Thank you. This museum exists because extraordinary people, veterans, descendants, and friends who came together with a shared purpose. We are very fortunate to have an outstanding group of board members. I ask that all veterans and museum board members please stand to be recognized. Museum and veterans board members, please stand up. Thank you for your leadership and dedication. We did it. We did it. Thank you. Without further, I would like to also remember the board members who have passed away that were instrumental in helping us construct this new museum. Humberto Díaz Argüelles, El Chino. Guido Cornil Jimenez. Juan Alberto Suárez Rivas. Humberto López Saldaña. Jorge Gutiérrez Aguirre and Armando Bolet Suarez. I know they're up here today. To our incredible museum staff, please stand as well. All of you, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Your passion and commitment is what brings this museum to life every day. And we can't never forget the amazing work from our museum curator, Carmen Valdivia, and our very own historian, Victor Trier. Where are you guys? Please stand up. Thank you. Thank you. We love you. I would also like to take the chance here to thank our generous supporters, the Mas family, the Brock family, Humberto Calzada, the Corona family, Bacardi, Carlos de la Cruz, the children of Juan Suarez Riva. Please join me in giving them a round of applause. All these individuals are the heart of our mission. Together, we're not only preserving history, we're also honoring it. Because together, we have built more than a museum. We have built a promise. A promise that the story of the Bay of Pigs will be told by those who lived it, by the veterans themselves. A promise that the future generations will understand the true meaning of freedom and the real dire consequences of socialism and communism. And a promise that the bravery and sacrifice of these heroes will never, ever be forgotten. I want to rewind just a few years ago. This museum was only a dream. Many said it could not be done. But let this day stand as proof. When you believe in a dream, and when you have the passion, and when you're surrounded by people that share that vision, anything is possible. I'd like to thank those people that helped make this dream a reality. I'd like to start with Ivo Fernandez and Robert Morissette from Modus Architects. This project would not have been possible without you, and you know that. You took the visions the veterans carried in their hearts and transferred it into a living, lasting reality. Edie Escarra, Carlos Lago, and Carlos Diaz from Greenburn Torek. Where are you guys? Thank you for donating your time. Thank you, guys. Thank you for donating your time, your expertise, and guidance. Your work was instrumental in navigating the zoning process and establishing legal foundation necessary to bring this museum to life. Carlos de Mena, Danny Arner, Amadeo Lopez Castro, and the great CamCon team. Where are you guys? Your work on this 11,000 square foot museum, completed in just over 10 months, is nothing short of extraordinary. The dedication, craftsmanship, and pride you brought to this project truly reflects your love for the brigade. Dan Easel and Franz DeBetch from the Anderle Group, your guidance and support were invaluable. Thank you, my friends. To my friends Cesar Casamayor and Antti Proenza from I2K, you guys did an amazing job not only creating, but also bringing these walls to life with such thoughtful and design and execution. The veterans and I forever be grateful. Thank you, Cesar and Anthony. I would also like to recognize Carlos Gutierrez, who did an amazing job producing and filming special moments of the Brigade 2506. He did a fantastic job preserving the story for future generations. His father, Pekin Gutierrez, was a brigade veteran, and he would be proud. Thank you. I'd also like to thank Diego and Eric Del Pino from APS for their support in providing the digital equipment and programming to showcase the museum in a digital format. They went above and beyond what it needed to happen. Thank you. Thank you all for your support. We're truly blessed. Now I have the opportunity to introduce our first guest. Is U.S. Congressman Carlos Jimenez, who is one of our voices of freedom in Washington, to come up and say a few words. He's an Adelante brother, so give him a special thanks.
Thank you for that kind introduction, but first, I have to follow protocol. And so I will introduce my colleague, my sister-in-arms in the U.S. Congress. This is her district. Please welcome Congresswoman Maria Elvira Salazar.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Right here, come stay right here. We are always together on the floor, so delighted to be here with him and with all of you. I mean, it's so refreshing to be back in South Florida, to be in Miami, and even more in my district number 27. So proud to be representing all of you in the United States Congress, along with him and with Mario Diaz-Balart. You know, I'm blessed, we are blessed, because the Lord has given us the opportunity to be representing all of you in such a historical moment when the Trump administration has decided to finish the job that the veterans, that the Bay of Pig veterans started 65 years ago. So, historical moments. And just think about it. Carlos, Mario, and myself, we're going to be there in that table, sitting on behalf of the United States government and speaking your voice when that negotiation starts as to when are you guys leaving, how are you going to go, and how long is it going to take you. Because I'm not sure if you, I'm sure that you social media, it's all over the place. And last night I had the opportunity, since I'm in the House Foreign Affairs Committee, I'm the chairman of the subcommittee for Western Hemisphere. And in my subcommittee, there is Representative Jackson, who had just come from Havana 3 days ago. And I'm sure you saw it. And he started praising, saying that Fidel Castro rest in peace. And I said, no, may he rest in hell. That's what, yes. I am sure that I was speaking on your behalf. 65 years ago, you know what happened? Kennedy left you stranded. But we have a leader at the White House. And Marco Rubio will be in the history books as one of the most illustrious figures in the United States government, along with the United States President, President Trump. We know that the end is coming, and that the sacrifice that many of you here present did 65 years ago, and those who are not with us anymore, will be redressed, and we will have a very happy ending, exactly the ending that you guys were looking for: freedom, liberty, free market economy 65 years ago when you guys gave everything. The love for Cuba that I have, I remember, I always have to say it, my grandmother Elvira, my second name is, I was 6 years old, and she would take me to visit some of the family of the veterans who had died. And I could never understand why these people cried so much. She was part of the Resistencia Interna, the internal resistance. She was waiting in Havana, in the suburbs of Havana, waiting for the Americans to come and for you guys to be able to come and liberate. That never happened. That's why 6 years after Bay of Pigs, she came to Miami, and that's when I met her. Deep, deep love for Cuba in my heart. She was able to inject, and for that reason, I am delighted to be able to be here, not as your congresswoman, but as someone who is your friend, and someone who will never, along with Carlos and Mario, never, never, never will allow any government, including ours, to negotiate anything with the Castros or anyone who was able to be in that regime. Count on us. Thank you. Now, I'm sure they're telling me that protocol says that I have to offer this certificate of special congressional recognition. We're not really sure to whom, but I'm sure that all the veterans deserve it. So I think that this is yours, Carlos.
Yes.
And I'm going to stay right here next to you.
Congratulations, and I guess it's my turn, and so the Bay of Pigs is a little bit more personal to me. I remember when I was 7 years old, I came here when I was 6, almost 7, and I remember pretty much the day that my cousin Humberto, he's sitting right there, Billy Muir, are you here? Billy Muir, and then my other cousin Eddie, they left for the Bay of Pigs, and my cousin Humberto actually fought in the Bay of Pigs. He was captured. He was on the 18-wheeler, and he was a prisoner. And so that's a very personal thing to me, and I will never forget that, and I will never forget your sacrifice. How old were you, like 15 years old? 16? He was 16 years old. Think about it, okay? 16-year-old boy going to Cuba, fighting for freedom. What are 16-year-old kids doing today? I don't think they're doing that. And that's what we're missing. This Jeff lived our experience all of his life, understands very well that you don't negotiate with communists, that you don't negotiate with terrorists, and that has the freedom of Cuba has always been forefront in his mind. And what is he? He's a Secretary of State. And then finally, we have President Trump. And President Trump has talked for years about the Cuban people and how he admires them and how he wants Cuba to be free. And now he has the power to make it happen. And so this building is great for the history. It's still painful, but I can foresee the day in the future when you come here and you see and you talk about the Bay of Pigs, you're going to say, why did they fight? Cuba's such a great place. Cuba is free. Cuba's the democracy. But it wasn't always that. And this building will tell the story of those dark days, those dark 65, 67 years that communism and socialism ruled in Cuba. That's right, not socialism, they're communists, okay? They're communists and they're thieves. They're thieves, that's what they are. They have stolen our land. They have wrecked Cuba. Cuba used to be the jewel of the Caribbean, and it will be again, thanks to our president, our Secretary of State, and the might of the United States. And Cuba will become a friend of the United States, and then Cuba will once again be the jewel of the Caribbean, mainly due to many of the people that are sitting right here. We'll go back and we will help create that jewel that Cuba can be, the jewel of the Caribbean, that wonderful place that many of you left behind. I was born there. I remember Cuba, and I want to go back. I went back last year to Guantanamo, but that's not really Cuba. That's actually part of the United States. And when I landed, it was pretty emotional, but I also made a promise. I said, I will never come back to Cuba, even Guantanamo, unless there's a free Cuba. And I believe that day is not too far in the future, where we all will be able to go back to a free and democratic Cuba. And so, again, congratulations to everybody on the museum. Great work. Congratulations mostly to the Bay of Pigs veterans that you had an impossible task. You were left on the beaches to fight for yourselves, and that was unfortunate. But you know what? Now you have the United States, and you have a president that's going to have your back. And when we go back, it'll be the full fight, a full might of the United States government, and we will have a free and democratic Cuba. And so I want to Maria, if you come back up, I have a congressional record. Maria, come back up. Come back up. So one of the things that we do in Congress is that we have the right to go to the floor, and whatever we say on the floor is part of the history of the United States, will always remain as part of the history of the United States, and it will be kept in the Library of Congress. And so I will be going to the floor, and I will be making this speech. Mr. Speaker, I rise today to commemorate the 65th anniversary of the Bay of Pigs invasion and to recognize the grand opening of the Bay of Pigs Museum and Library, a powerful tribute to the bravery, sacrifice, and enduring legacy of the Cuban patriots who fought for freedom. 65 years ago, on April 1961, courageous members of Brigade 2506 took up arms against a brutal communist dictatorship in Cuba. These men, many of them young exiles, answered the call of liberty with unwavering resolve. Their heroism stands as a defining moment in the fight against tyranny in our hemisphere. The opening of the Bay of Pigs Museum and Library ensures that future generations will learn the truth about the sacrifices made by Brigade 2506 and the dangers of communist oppression. It stands as both a place of remembrance and a call to action, a reminder that the struggle for a free Cuba is not yet over. As the Cuban regime continues to repress its people and deny them basic human rights, we must reaffirm our commitment to stand with the Cuban people in their pursuit of liberty. The legacy of Brigade 2506 demands nothing less. I ask my colleagues to join me in honoring the heroes of the Bay of Pigs and celebrating this institution that preserves their legacy. May we never forget their courage and always stand on the side of freedom. And it's signed by myself, and I'd like to present this to yourself, sir. ¡Viva Cuba Libre!
Wow. You know we got Washington covered. Next, we have the great Lieutenant Governor Jay Collins. He's the one that introduced and led Senate Bill 1264, the anti-communism bill. You know, he's on our side. Come on.
Well, it is an absolute honor to be here today. To the surviving members of 2506, thank you for your courage, your conviction. Thank you for standing in that gap when freedom could have failed. When it doesn't fail, it's because of warriors like you, because of patriots like you. Each and every one of you have an incredible legacy. Thank you for your leadership, not only across Miami, but across Florida and these United States. Please, one more time, everybody. So why is this so important to me? Obviously, I am not Cuban. But as a retired Army Green Beret who fought in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Colombia against the FARC, who was supported by criminals like Maduro and the Castro regime, among many others, the fight for freedom is one that is near to my heart. I've been shot, I've been blown up, I've lost a leg, and I continue to serve. And that's a story that patriots, that people who put their neck on the line for something greater than ourselves, understand. Rafael, like you, and like our heroes from La Brigada 2506, I would do it all again to defend freedom, to defend liberty, here, abroad, wherever that may be needed. This museum commemorates something that I've learned firsthand, that the men of 2506 have learned firsthand. The story told here has yet to be completed. I know, you know, we all know that it will end with freedom in Cuba. Patria y vida. As one of our own patriots, Patrick Henry, said, "Give me liberty or give me death." We know that freedom is never free. There is a real price associated with it. Freedom and liberty are not just words on documents, on paper. They have meaning. They come at a real cost, measured in lives, families, measured in blood. Friends, they're measured in heroes lost and moments lost. But our resolve, it will never fail. Your leadership will never fail. Cuba will be free, but because of heroes like you. Today, as we commemorate the 65th anniversary of the Bay of Pigs, and we cut the ribbon on the museum, I don't want to just speak to the people who are here today. May we never forget those gone, those people who paid a real price for freedom. Remember the families and hold them up. I have been over far too many flag-draped coffins in my life, and friends, it is never easy. Remember the loved ones. Those moments never fade. Many of these men from Brigade 2506, did you know they didn't stop fighting after 1961? Many went on to serve alongside America's finest, our special forces, intelligence and covert operations, continuing the fight for freedom wherever it was called. It didn't matter that Kennedy left them stranded on a beach. They understood that freedom and liberty waits for no one man, that when strong men and brave men fail to step up and fight, all is lost, so they didn't let freedom fail. Again, thank you for your courage. Men like Orlando Rodriguez, Felix Rodriguez, and so many others who personally invested in people like me. They helped create the Green Berets that I grew up in. They spoke at our graduations, they told us the stories, the lessons learned, and they made sure that in America, we understand that the cost is real. That is exactly why I ran the bill, ensuring and codifying and going on the shoulders of a bill that my own friend Ana Maria Rodriguez ran before me, to make sure that we educate on socialism and communism, so we will not take it for a test drive here. It has no place here. We are the land of the free because of the brave like you. Believe me when I say that in this fight for freedom, you are my brothers. We have buried friends. We have lost more than we care to talk about, and we understand. So from one old warrior to another, thank you. Your service matters to all of us. A los patriotas de la Brigada 2506, vuestra lucha no fue en vano. Cuba será libre. Hoy al lado de ustedes, juntos nosotros continuamos la lucha. Hoy la continuamos nosotros, patria y vida, porque la libertad siempre encuentra su camino. Porque la libertad siempre vence al miedo. Thank you. God bless each of you. May God continue to bless the free state of Florida. Thanks.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. Next is Florida State Senator Ana Maria Rodriguez, who's been fighting for the brigade for many, many years.
Good afternoon, and I ask that my Miami-Dade legislative delegation colleagues please join me on the stage so that we can speak in one unified voice this afternoon. Thank you. I have Senator Alexis Calatayud, whose both grandfathers fought in Bay of Pigs. Thank you. Thank you, Senator. Representative Omar Blanco, Representative Tom Fabricio, Representative Alex Rizzo. It is truly an honor to be here today for the ribbon cutting of the Bay of Pigs Museum and Library, a place that preserves not just history, but sacrifice, courage, and the enduring fight for freedom. For many of us, this story is not distant. It is deeply personal. I stand here today as the daughter and granddaughter of those who carried the pain of exile, the hope of return, and the unwavering belief in a free Cuba. Their stories, like so many represented here, are the reason that this museum matters. The men of Brigade 2506 showed the world what it means to stand up against tyranny, even in the face of impossible odds. Their bravery continues to inspire generations, including my own family, who taught me the value of freedom and the responsibility to defend it. As the chair of the Miami-Dade Legislative Delegation, we, collectively standing here, are proud to have worked alongside each other to secure state funding, millions of dollars, to support this important institution. Investing in this museum means investing in truth, in memory, and in the preservation of a legacy that must never be forgotten. Thank you. This museum and library ensure that their legacy will live on, that our children and grandchildren will understand the cost of freedom and the strength of the people who refuse to give up on it. Today, we don't just cut a ribbon, we reaffirm a promise to remember, to honor, and to continue the fight for liberty. Thank you, and may God bless you all. And I present Representative Alex Rizzo, who also helped with the funding. Oh, or Carlos.
Alex Rizzo, it's a great pleasure to introduce my good friend, Alex Rizzo. He's been fighting for all the brigade veterans in this museum for many, many years to ensure that the funding necessary to build the voices of our veterans for generations to come remains in place. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce my great friend, Alex Rizzo.
Thank you, Carlos. Thank you. Everyone has said it, and you're going to hear it from the other distinguished guests that are going to speak. We have to thank you. We have to thank you. You have fought. You have given Miami. You have given our generation, our children, a vision. You were given the entire free world a vision. We commemorate D-Day every year. This was your D-Day. This was our D-Day. Our grandparents, our parents, thank you. And look at the work that has gone into this. There are two people in particular that we really need to thank. As our colleague and our leader, Senator Ana Maria Rodriguez said, we've brought back millions of dollars over the last few years, and we will continue to. And when we finalize our budget in a month or two, we will bring back some more. Yeah, that's a good thing. Did I touch? Thank you. Okay. There's one man, one member of the legislature that made a promise to these men. And that's our speaker, Danny Perez. Danny couldn't be here. But I think you'll all agree that God is on his side on this one because his daughter is having her first communion today. So he could not be here, so he apologizes for it. But he made a commitment that through legislation as well as state funding, that you are about to cut the ribbon for would be here. And he's made good on his promise. Another person that we want to thank is Governor Ron DeSantis for signing and making sure that those much needed funds have and will continue, and whomever the next governor may be, let's make sure that the funds will continue to come. And one more person that I have to say, I have grown to love this man and admire him, and that's Carlos Luis. Carlos Luis. Brother. Carlos and I are the same age. We graduated at different high schools. We both played football. And Carlos is still very much an athlete. I am not. But we talk about those glory days. And you know, we talk about things and we say we strategize and this, that. And Carlos was a quarterback. And a quarterback on a team is the leader. I was a lineman. I'm the guy that gets beat up, that gets dirty, that gets hurt every play. Okay, that doesn't, make the touchdown. But together, he says that I'm his center. He calls me Outland for Outland Trophy winner. I call him Heisman. Because that heart, that brain, that soul,
That is the heart of a champion, and thank God that's the kind of legacy que sigue en nuestros hijos. Ese legado que han creado ustedes. Thank you, Carlos. So all of us will continue, and former representative, now Commissioner Vicki Lopez, who is going to be up here in a second, but she was also part of this team, part of your delegation. Alina, our supervisor of elections. Where is Miss Alina? Miss Alina also, that was a representative who was up there with us fighting, making sure that the rest of Florida does not forget. And so we will continue this fight. A los brigadistas, ustedes tienen la palabra mía, la palabra de todos estos colegas míos, que el legado de ustedes más nunca se va a olvidar. Gracias. Thank you.
A big round of applause for these great folks we have in the state of Florida representing us. They really do care, and they've helped make this happen. Our next speaker is our fabulous Miami-Dade County Mayor, Daniela Levine Cava. She's been a true supporter year after year. Mayor, if you can come up. No, it's right here. Oh, my God. Doesn't she look great in a guayabera?
Good afternoon. Muy buenas tardes. Today is dedicated to the brave men who made the sacrifices, some the ultimate sacrifice, and to everyone who will never give up the hope and the fight for liberation of the homeland, Cuba. I can truly say, and we all know, that we are all the beneficiaries of your heroism. Yes. Y yo también digo que nunca voy a olvidar, nunca. Sí, So we give thanks for the tireless efforts of the veterans, the board members, the many supporters, public and private. These stories, this heroism, now has a beautiful new home. So today itself is a defining moment in our history. This is all of our history. So these stories are never to be forgotten, and we rededicate ourselves to the cause of freedom and to the cause of preservation of the story. Thank you. For our veterans, their families, and loved ones, this is deeply personal, we know. So we promise with this museum that the stories of these brave men and their sacrifices will never be forgotten. For our children, our children's children, future generations, and all who come to visit our beautiful home. I'm very, very proud to stand before you as the mayor who also supported these efforts as a commissioner side by side with then Commissioner Eileen Higgins and others, and now Mayor Higgins. And I'd like to invite up our county commissioners to the stage who are with us today, Commissioner Vicki Lopez, Commissioner Millan Orbis, Commissioner Bermudez, to give official greetings on behalf of Miami-Dade County. All right. Okay. So, of course, the entire Miami-Dade County, on behalf of almost 3 million residents, joins in this special recognition today as Bay of Pigs Brigade 2506 Museum and Library Day. Good job. Anything else?
Get a picture.
I will speak. Should we all stay?
No, I was going to introduce Vicky right
Yes.
now. I think you're not
Okay.
going to go through there. No, please, don't spare me. Thank you so much. We're truly glad to have, fortunate to have that type of support locally, and we've always had. God bless them. Next, I'd like to introduce our District County Commissioner, Vicky Lopez, who just proclaimed this as the 17th as Bay of Pigs Day in Miami-Dade County, and we're honored by that gesture. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to apologize in advance to those of you that do not speak Spanish. I have decided that it is fitting to do my remarks in Spanish because of my love for the Bay of Pigs veterans. So, Han transcurrido 65 años desde que la Brigada 2506 tocó las arenas de Bahía de Cochinos. 65 años desde que los jóvenes, impulsados por el valor y un amor infinito por su patria, se atrevieron a arriesgarlo todo por el sueño de una Cuba libre. Hoy abrimos las puertas del Museo y Biblioteca de la Brigada 2506, no solo como muros de piedra y cristal, sino como un santuario de la memoria, una llama viva de sacrificio, valentía y esperanza inquebrantable. Se erija como homenaje a los más de 1.500 jóvenes que dejaron atrás sus vidas para entrar en la historia, llevando consigo nada más que una convicción y el sueño de libertad. Dentro de este museo, sus historias, sus nombres harán eco a través de las generaciones y su espíritu permanecerá para siempre intacto. Porque sueños como los suyos no parecen. La visión de una Cuba libre de tiranía y comunismo no terminó en el 1961, sino que echó raíces. Vive en cada corazón que se niega a rendirse, en cada voz que se atreve a hablar de la libertad, en cada alma que cree en la justicia y la dignidad del pueblo cubano. Hoy hacemos más que recordar, renovamos, tomamos su sueño en nuestras manos y la llevamos adelante, no como una carga, sino como una luz que no se puede extinguirse. No olvidamos, jamás olvidaremos, porque olvidar sería apagar la esencia misma de lo que somos, y su sacrificio exige eternidad. Que Dios bendiga los veteranos de la Brigada 2506. Bendiga este lugar sagrado. Que Dios bendiga este lugar sagrado que custodia su legado y acelere el día glorioso y inevitable en que Cuba se levanta por fin en libertad y democracia. Que vive Cuba libre hoy y siempre. Gracias.
Thank you, JC. Wow. She's amazing. Vicky's amazing. So fortunate to have her. Next is my good friend, City of Miami Mayor Eileen Higgins. We've been able to count on her support since day one and throughout the entire process of building this museum. Mayor Higgins and her Chief of Staff, Maggie Fernandez, are superstars. Thank you so much.
Well, dreams really do come true, right? So I'm remembering back, Carlos Luis, to my first visit to the old museum. Who has been to the old museum? Oh yeah. Well, you kind of remember it was kind of rickety. But the day that Ricky Sanchez brought me there, it was also raining. And water was pouring through the roof in the middle of the library and in the middle of the room where the Wall of Heroes and their beautiful pictures were. I thought to myself, like, how can it be that this is the place where the memory of what these men from the Brigada fought for and how they remember the love of their homeland while here in their adopted country of the United States and the beautiful city of Miami. And so I remember leaving, right, Carlos? So it was Maggie Fernandez, my chief of staff, and Carlos Luis and I walked out. And I looked at you and I said, this is not going to be how this is going to be. And we hatched a plan. And I remember saying to you, just do it. Create the plan, start building the building, because little by little, year after year, we are going to make sure that you have a new home. And I have my dear friends here from the Senate and the House, Ana Maria Rodriguez, also Alex Rizzo, who helped so much along with the rest of the delegation, but also with the county. We also were able to contribute, both from my office, but also from Mayor Daniela Levine Cava, $4 million. And here we are today. And this building is important, I think, to our community for two reasons, right? One, it is a place to honor the legacy of people who risked it all and were abandoned by their own government. And let me tell you, history is not always pretty, right? We need to remember the things we did right so we can keep doing that. But we also need to remember the things we got wrong so we can never do that again. And that is what this place is about. Let me tell you why else it's important. We are footsteps from Calle Ocho, the heart and soul of the tourism economy, the heart and soul of where visitors come to Miami. And you know what they do? They're on Calle Ocho. They listen to music. They drink a mojito. They order some picadillo. And they don't know why. They do not know the why behind our links between Cuba and Miami. And now they have this beautiful museum and library that you have all labored so long and hard with your ideas, your creativity, and most importantly, all of the stories you emotionally told over the past year as the exhibits were developed. Because here's what I can tell you. To understand Miami, you have got to understand the stories that are part of this museum. So for me, this is just a joy-filled day. I woke up excited. I feel blessed to be here in your presence. And I hope you feel at home. Se siente en casa. Congratulations to all of you. My heart is full.
Wow, when I said she believed in a promise, in a vision, that's an understatement. And everything she said is spot on. We needed to turn it around. And she was a seed that was planted and looked after us to make sure that this fabulous museum is built. Thank you so, so much. Next is our Miami District Commissioner and Cuban-born friend, Rolando Escalona. Come on.
Wow, a lot of people. Good afternoon. My name is Rolando Escalona. I was born and raised in Cuba. I came here just 11 years ago. I had a full speech, but I don't want to read it. I want to tell you a couple of stories. And I will do this in Spanish. This is for you. When I was going to school in Cuba, yo me acuerdo que en quinto o sexto grado nos enseñaban una asignatura que se llamaba Historia de Cuba. Y esa historia de Cuba, uno de los temas era Bahía de Cochinos. Pero por supuesto, la dictadura te decía su versión. Y yo me recuerdo que yo llegaba a la casa y yo tenía todos los días que estudiar. Y mi madre y mi abuelo se sentaban conmigo y me preguntaban, ¿qué aprendiste hoy? Obviamente, yo les decía lo que había aprendido. Me dijeron esto, esto y esto. Y mi abuelo me decía, no, eso no fue lo que pasó. Mi abuelo me contó en realidad de lo que pasó en Bay of Pigs, que había un grupo de hombres valientes luchando. One second. Wait. Que había un grupo de hombres valientes luchando por la libertad de todo un país. Mi abuelo murió y no pudo ver una Cuba libre. Yo espero que mi madre sí la pueda ver. Yo quiero que ustedes sepan que como mi abuelo y mi madre, hay muchos cubanos en Cuba que saben la verdadera historia de ustedes, que saben todo lo que ustedes hicieron por una Cuba libre. Para mí Cuba es personal. Yo viví 22 años en Cuba. Muchos de ustedes nacieron acá. Muchos de ustedes no vieron lo que yo vi. En Cuba no funciona nada. Afortunadamente, yo creo que el presidente Trump va a cambiar eso. Y yo espero que el próximo aniversario de Bay of Pigs lo podamos celebrar todos en Cuba. Yo espero que el próximo aniversario lo podamos celebrar en una Cuba que va a ser libre, soberana, con diferentes partidos políticos, en una Cuba donde tú puedas pensar de forma diferente y no vayas a la cárcel. En una Cuba donde haya un presidente que sea elegido por el pueblo. En una Cuba donde un presidente no tenga la cara tan dura de ir a cadena nacional y decir que en Cuba no hay presos políticos. Cuando todos nosotros sabemos que en Cuba lo que más hay es presos políticos por una sola razón, por pensar diferente. Libertad para Cuba y muchas gracias por todo lo que ustedes hicieron. Hoy y siempre, patria y vida. Gracias. I would like to call our mayor. Where is our mayor? And Ralph, please come in. Tenemos una proclamación You want to take?
No, you do it. We're in your district.
Esto es para ti y para todos. Esto es para ti y para todos ustedes que tuvieron el honor, la valentía y el coraje de hacer lo que muy pocas personas hubieran hecho, que es arriesgar su vida. Gracias. Got it?
The brigade's going to have a collection of proclamations today. We're going to have to build another museum to put them. That is incredible. That is wonderful. Right now, I would like the opportunity to call Miami-Dade County Sheriff Rosie Cordero Stutz to come up for a few words.
Good afternoon, everyone. Qué orgullo estar acompañándolos todo hoy día, esta tarde. On behalf of the men and women of the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office and myself, it is my great honor to extend a heartfelt congratulations on the grand opening of the Bay of Pigs Museum and Library in the heart of Little Havana. This celebration is especially meaningful as it coincides with the 65th anniversary of the Bay of Pigs invasion and a defining moment in history. This museum tells a story through the lives of the veterans of the Brigada 2506, men from all walks of life united by a shared belief in liberty. Their stories are deeply human, marked by hope, sacrifice, and unwavering desire to see a free Cuba. They speak of simple dreams like watching a baseball game in Havana, walking through their familiar parks with their grandchildren, dreams interrupted but never abandoned. Their voices remind us of the past while inspiring future generations to understand the true cost of freedom, and no better story can be told in the history of the United States today. No better story. It's a legacy that continues to inspire the Cuban exile community, whose history is so deeply woven into the fabric of this county. This museum ensures their stories are preserved and carried forward by all who value democracy, freedom, and human rights. As sheriff, I see every day the strength and resilience of our community, strength rooted in every story told by these veterans. Their experiences remind us that freedom is worth defending. History must be remembered, and sacrifices of those who came before us must never be forgotten. I want to take a moment right here to say a special congratulations and a special thank you to the two men who are standing here next to me, Carlos and Rafael. I have always felt welcome here from the first time that I met each of you, and it is that love and passion that you have brought to the building that stands behind you, and that part of each of you stands as part of that legacy. Thank you for what you have done. Thank you.
Congratulations to everyone who helped bring this vision to life through dedication, collaboration, and perseverance. Together, let us reaffirm our promise to honor the past, educate the present, and inspire the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Rosie, always a friend of the brigade. Thank you so much. Lastly, I would like to recognize some of the public features that we're honored to have here with us today. If you could please hold your applause to the end. The next Chief of Justice of the Florida Supreme Court, the Honorable Justice John Curiel. Florida State Senator Ileana Garcia. Florida State Senator Alexis Calatayud. Both of her grandfathers are brigade veterans. Florida State House Representative Omar Blanco. Florida State House Representative Tom Fabricio. Florida State House Representative Daniel Alvarez. Miami-Dade County State Attorney, the Honorable Catherine Rundle. Miami-Dade County Clerk of Circuit Court and Controller of Miami-Dade County, Juan Fernandez Barquin. Property Appraiser of Miami-Dade County, Tomas Regalado. Chairman of Miami-Dade Board of County Commissioners, Anthony Rodriguez. Miami-Dade County Commissioner, J.C. Bermudez. Miami-Dade County Commissioner, Natalie Milian Orbis. Miami International Airport Director and Chief Executive Officer, my friend Ralph Cutie. The Honorable Judge Oscar Rodriguez Fonts, son of Brigade veteran. The Honorable Judge Yvonne Cuesta. The Honorable Judge Michael Barquette. City of Miami Chief of Police Manuel Morales. City of Miami Commissioner Ralph Rosado. City of Miami Commissioner Miguel Ángel Gabela. City of Coral Gables Mayor Vince Lago. City of Coral Gables Rhonda Anderson. And City of Coral Gables Commissioner Richard Lara. Thank you so much for being here today. And thank you for your patience. And as Commissioner Rolando Escalona said, I have no doubt that next year, on the 66th anniversary of the Bay of Pigs invasion, we are going to celebrate that in Cuba, on a free Cuba. God bless you all. God bless the veterans of 2506. I'm going to put now our museum director, Julie Mena, to give you some closing remarks. Julie.
Okay. Good afternoon. We're excited for one of the best parts of our ceremony. We are closing and excited to invite you into our new digital space. Our volunteers, you see them with yellow lanyards. They're there to help get you a drink if you need it, especially for our veterans, and to guide you and to give you small cards. We're gonna come up and say the first color. We're gonna allow about 75 people into the museum. Do a quick walkthrough so we all can see it, and then come back for beverages, our cocktail hour. And then after we get every color going through, whoever's left can slowly walk back in, but we're gonna do very quickly the colors so that we allow everybody an opportunity to see the space. So please be patient with us. We're gonna pass out the cards. Thank you.